The reality you see is not the real reality. Have you ever wondered if the world you see is truly real? What if I told you that everything you experience is just a construction of your brain? Would you believe it? Imagine that everything you perceive, images, sounds, touch, is not an exact replica of reality, but rather what your brain has processed, edited, and presented to you. When you look at an object, light reflects off it and reaches your eyes. The signals are then sent to the brain for processing, but this process is not instant. Your brain needs time to receive, analyze, and construct a complete image. In the meantime, it fills in the gaps with its best guesses based on past experiences and collected data. This means you are not truly living in the present moment. You are experiencing a slightly edited version of the recent past. Limited vision, but your brain fills in the gaps. Do you think you see the entire world around you clearly? In reality, only a small portion of your vision is in high resolution. The central area where your eyes are focused. The surrounding areas are actually blurry and lack detail. But why don't we notice this? Your brain uses a clever trick to compensate. Every second, your eyes make about 3 to 4 quick, jerky movements, saccades, focusing on different points in the environment. During these moments, your brain shuts down visual perception to avoid motion blur. This means that for nearly 2 hours every day, you are effectively blind without realizing it. So what happens during those moments? Your brain automatically fills in the missing details using previous information and logical predictions. It stitches these fragmented images together to create a seamless picture, making you believe that the world around you is consistently sharp and stable. Your perception of time is distorted. Have you ever stirred a cup of hot coffee and noticed that the sound of the spoon hitting the cup, the warmth in your hand, and the movement of the coffee all seem to happen simultaneously? In reality, these signals reach your brain at different times. Light reflecting off the spoon reaches your eyes almost instantly, in just 1.3 nanoseconds. The sound of the spoon hitting the cup takes about 1.2 milliseconds to travel to your ears. The sensation of heat from the coffee takes about 50 milliseconds to reach your brain from your fingertips. Your brain does not receive all this information simultaneously, but instead of presenting it to you in a fragmented way, it synchronizes everything into a single, unified, present moment. This means you are not truly perceiving the world in real time. You are experiencing an edited version of the past that has been adjusted to feel continuous. We often believe that what we see, hear, and feel is an absolute truth, but our brains act as editors, organizing information in a way that benefits our survival and perception. It fills in the blanks in our vision, synchronizes time to create a smooth experience, and constantly adjusts what we perceive to match what it thinks we need to know. But if our brains are essentially directing a movie about reality, are we just passive viewers watching our own lives unfold? And if so, who is really in control of this story? Let's explore further in the next section. Time, reality, and the brain's predictions. You are living in the past. No. The future. No. A made-up future. Imagine you are a professional table tennis player. A ball is flying toward you at an astonishing speed of 25 meters per second. If you relied on your senses alone, you would never be able to react in time. By the time your brain processed the visual signal of the ball's position, it would have already moved. So what does your brain do? It cheats. Instead of showing you the ball's actual position, it calculates where the ball should be in the near future and presents that prediction to you as reality. In other words, you don't see the world as it is. You see a version of the world that your brain expects to happen. And it's not just fast-moving sports. Your brain does this every second of the day. When you walk down the street, your brain is already planning your next step before your foot even touches the ground. If it didn't, you'd trip and fall constantly. Walking is a form of time travel. After playing table tennis, you decide to take a walk. It feels like you're in complete control. But in reality, your brain is operating in 3 different time zones, processing sensory feedback from the past, calculating your current physical state, predicting the future movements your body needs to make. Your brain is always one step ahead, literally. Before the signal from your foot touching the ground even reaches your brain, it has already sent the command for the next step. And not just one step. The muscle patterns for the next 2 steps are already prepared. This allows for fluid, effortless movement. But what happens if something unexpected occurs, like stepping on a banana peel? Before your conscious mind even registers that you're slipping, your body has already reacted. Within 200 milliseconds, your brainstem and spinal cord activate emergency reflexes to try and prevent you from falling. Only after this response do you consciously realize what's happening. Your brain makes decisions before you do. We like to believe that we are in control of our actions, but research suggests otherwise. Experiments have shown that your brain makes decisions before you are even aware of them. In a famous study, scientists used brain scans to predict which button a person would press, several seconds before the person consciously decided. This suggests that what we think of as free will is actually a process where our brain makes a decision and then informs us of that decision afterward. Think about the implications. When you reach for a cup of coffee, is it really you making that choice? Or has your brain already decided, and your conscious mind is just catching up? Your perception of reality is not as reliable as you think. Your brain is constantly predicting the future, editing your past, and making decisions before you even realize it. You are living in a world that is carefully crafted, not by you, but by your brain. But if our brains are making all these choices, then who or what are we? Are we just passengers in a vehicle that our subconscious is driving? And if we are just predictions, can we change our future? In the next section, we'll dive deeper into this mystery. Are you just a prediction of your brain? The power of your brain's predictions. Now that we understand how the brain constructs reality and makes predictions, the next question is, who is really in control? If our conscious mind isn't calling the shots in the moment, then what role does it actually play? The answer lies in long-term influence rather than immediate control. While your subconscious brain handles real-time decision-making, your conscious self is responsible for shaping the bigger picture. Your thoughts, beliefs, and experiences create a feedback loop that gradually rewrites the predictive model your brain relies on. This means that while you may not directly control every action, you do have power over how your brain predicts and responds to the world in the future. Rewriting the story of you. Your brain's predictive nature means that the way you think about yourself and the world can shape your future experiences. If your brain expects anxiety at social gatherings, it will prepare your body for anxiety, reinforcing the experience. But what happens if you intentionally challenge that prediction? By repeatedly exposing yourself to new experiences and consciously framing them in a positive way, you can slowly retrain your brain. This is why self-improvement techniques like positive affirmations, visualization, and mindfulness can have real effects. They don't work like magic, but rather by gradually adjusting the predictions your brain makes about future situations. You may not be able to rewrite reality instantly, but you can nudge it in a different direction over time. The role of free will. If so much of our experience is shaped by unconscious processes, does free will even exist? The answer isn't black and white. On one hand, our brain makes many decisions before we're even aware of them. But on the other, our conscious self still plays a crucial role in shaping future outcomes. Think of it like steering a massive ship. You may not be able to change direction instantly, but small adjustments over time can set you on a completely different course. By choosing what to focus on, what habits to build, and how to interpret your experiences, you influence the way your brain predicts reality. The grand illusion. So, what does all of this mean? It means that the world you experience is a carefully constructed illusion, a best-guess reality that your brain presents to you. But rather than feeling powerless, this realization can be empowering. Understanding how your brain works gives you the ability to shape your own narrative, rewrite your predictions, and ultimately take control of your life in ways you never imagined. You are not just a passenger in this journey. You are the storyteller, the architect of your own reality. And while you may not control every detail, you have the power to shape the story your brain tells about who you are and what is possible. Final thought. At the end of the day, your perception of reality is a fascinating, ever-evolving illusion. But within that illusion lies the opportunity to grow, adapt, and rewrite your future. So the next time you feel stuck, remember, the world is not set in stone. It is a story you have the power to change.